This video is a guide to Minecraft 1.16 Nether update. What the new features and changes in Minecraft 1.16. This video is going to go through all the new features and changes to make it easier to step into the Nether update. If you enjoy this video, remember to subscribe and see daily Minecraft tutorials. One of the biggest additions in the 1.16 update is Netherite. How you get Netherite is by mining ancient debris. Ancient debris can be found between Y layer 8 to 22, and a second vein can generate between 8 to 119 in the Nether. On average, there are 1.7 blocks of ancient debris per a chunk. To mine ancient debris, you have to use a diamond pickaxe or better. The ancient debris can then be smelted in the furnace, which will give you 2 XP and Netherite scrap. In the crafting table, 4 Netherite scrap and 4 gold ingots can be crafted into 1 Netherite ingot. This is similar to mining any other ore, except there are a few extra steps. Before the 1.16 update, the smithing table had no purpose besides being a job site block for the toolsmith. In the 1.16 update, the smithing table can now apply Netherite ingots to diamond gear to turn them into Netherite gear. The Netherite gear will retain the enchantment's name and durability of the diamond gear. For armor, Netherite increases the damage protection, meaning you take less damage. With tools, Netherite increases the breaking time for pickaxes, axes, shovels, and hoes. Netherite swords and axes will do higher base damage. All Netherite gear will have higher durability, 10.8% increase for armor, and 1561 to 2031 for tools, about a 23.2% increase in durability. With Netherite tools, you will get 570 more uses than diamond tools. Also, Netherite cannot be destroyed by lava and will float in it. 9 Netherite ingots can also be crafted into a block of Netherite, which can be turned back into ingots and used as a base for a beacon. The Netherite ingot is part of the crafting recipe for the new block, the Lodestone. The crafting recipe is a Netherite ingot and 8 chiseled stone bricks. The Lodestone is used for navigation. Right-clicking a compass on the Lodestone will have that compass point in the direction of the Lodestone and works in all dimensions. Some of the new blocks added were the quartz brick, which you can craft from blocks of quartz in the stone cutter or crafting table, also the chiseled and cracked nether brick. This makes nether bricks similar to crafting stone bricks now. A new metallic decorative block is the chain. The crafting recipe is 2 iron nuggets and an iron ingot. A new ore added in the Nether is Nether Gold Ore. It appears throughout the Nether with a vein being 1 to 10 per a chunk, anywhere from Y layers 10 to 117. Using an unenchanted pickaxe will drop 2 to 6 gold nuggets. With Fortune 3, this can be increased to a maximum of 24 gold nuggets. If you smelt a block of Nether Gold Ore, it will get you 1 gold ingot. A new mob addition is the Strider, a passive mob that spawns in the lava seas of the Nether. They like to warp fungus and will breed if you feed it to them. If you equip them with a saddle and use warp fungus on a stick, which is a fishing rod and warp fungus crafted together, you can ride the Strider similar to a pig, except through lava. Striders like lava, and when out of lava they turn purple, shiver, and move slower. A new structure, the Ruined Portal, generates in all biomes in the overworld and the Nether. It can also spawn underwater and underground. The portal consists of netherrack, stone bricks, obsidian, iron bars, blocks of gold, magma blocks, and crying obsidian, plus a chest of loot that contains a lot of gold items. The crying obsidian is a luminous version with a different texture than obsidian. It can't be used for nether portals. 6 crying obsidian and 3 glowstone are the recipe for the respawn anchor. The respawn anchor is a new block that will allow you to respawn in the Nether when you die. Every time you respawn, it will use 1 charge of the respawn anchor. To charge the respawn anchor, you have to right-click glowstone onto the anchor. The maximum charge is 4. You have to right-click it to set it as your spawn point. Using it in the overworld will cause it to explode. Another structure added is the Bastion Remnant. There are 4 different parts to the Bastion Remnant. The first is the bridge, which is a ruined piglin face carved into it. Inside the mouth consists of multiple levels of walkways, and from the mouth is a damaged bridge with support pillars. The Hoglin stable consists of 3-part ramparts with damaged stables on each side. The third part is the housing units, which consist of 2-part ruined ramparts with a courtyard with nether warts. The last part is the treasure room, which is multiple bridges over lava. At the bottom is a treasure room, a mob spawner for magma cubes, and an area with blocks of gold. In all 4 parts of the Bastion Remnant, there are different loot chests, containing a mix of new items, nether items, and gold items. 2 of the items that are unique to the loot of the Bastion Remnant are the Snout banner pattern and the Pig Step music disc. An ore that only appears in the Bastion Remnant is the Gilded Blackstone. If mined with a pickaxe, it will either drop the Gilded Blackstone or 10% chance of 2 to 5 gold nuggets. The Fortune enchantment is guaranteed when mining Gilded Blackstone to drop gold nuggets. The Hoglin can also spawn in the Hoglin stable of the Bastion Remnant and the Crimson Forest biome. Hoglins are a hostile mob that have 40 health, and when they attack the player they can fling them in the air. Killing a Hoglin will drop pork chops, leather, and 5 XP. The drops are similar to a cow. The Hoglins will avoid warp, fungus, nether portals, and the respawn anchor. Even though they are a hostile mob, you can breed Hoglins using crimson fungus. If a Hoglin enters the overworld or the end, they will shiver for 15 seconds before turning into a Zoglin. Zoglins are similar to Hoglins, but you can't breed them and they can only drop rotten flesh. The other mob that can also appear throughout the Bastion Remnant is the Piglin. The Piglin will be hostile towards the player if they are not wearing a piece of gold armor, but will become neutral if a player is wearing gold armor. Piglins can also become hostile when a nearby chest or container is opened or broken. Also, if the player breaks a gold block, gold ore, nether gold ore, or gilded blackstone, the Piglin will become hostile. You can also barter with the Piglin. How this works is you have to be holding a gold ingot to get the Piglin's attention. Either drop the gold ingot near the Piglin or right click on the Piglin. The Piglin will examine the gold ingot and give you an item in exchange. The items you can get from bartering include soul sand, crying obsidian, nether brick, leather, gravel, fire charges, string, ender pearl, magma cream, glowstone dust, nether quartz, potion of fire resistance, splash potion of fire resistance, iron nuggets, iron boots with soul speed, and an enchanted book with soul speed. Also, if piglins enter the overworld or the end, they will turn into a zombified piglin. The zombie pigman has been changed into the zombified piglin in the 1.16 update. They are the same as the zombie pigmen, just with pig ears, and they spawn in the nether waste and crimson forest. Zombified piglins will no longer attack players if they haven't attacked a zombified piglin. If a player dies, they also will stop being angry. Another structure added is the huge fungus, another version of a tree. There are 2 variants, the crimson and warped huge fungus. The crimson huge fungus generates in the crimson forest, and the warped huge fungus generates in the warped forest. The huge fungus consists of stems, warp blocks, and shroomlight. How you grow the huge fungus is by putting crimson or warped fungus on the same type of nylium, then applying bone meal. This is the exact same as growing a tree from saplings. Nylium is a new block that consists of crimson or warped. It is a variant of the netherrack block. To mine it, you have to use a pickaxe enchanted with silk touch, otherwise it will drop netherrack. You can also turn netherrack into nylium by placing the nylium next to the netherrack and using bone meal on the netherrack. Using bone meal on crimson or warped nylium will generate vegetation native to that biome, similar to grass. The crimson nylium generates crimson forest vegetation like crimson fungus, warped fungus, and crimson roots. Warped nylium generates warped forest vegetation like crimson fungus, warped fungus, roots, nether sprouts, and twisting vines. Fungus comes in warped fungus and crimson fungus. As I said earlier, it can be used to grow huge fungus. Also, crimson fungus can be used to breed hoglins. Warped fungus can be used to breed striders and be crafted into fungus on a stick, which you can use to ride striders. Also, warped fungus can be used to repel hoglins. 2 of the new plants are twisting vines and weeping vines. Twisting vines can be found in the warped forest biome, growing from the ground. In contrast, weeping vines can be found in the crimson forest, growing from the ceiling and the huge crimson fungus. Both vines can be climbed by holding jump and grow at the same rate, about 1 block every 11 minutes. The only difference is twisting vines grow from the ground and weeping vines grow from the ceiling or crimson huge fungus. Also, there are 2 types of roots. Crimson roots found in the Crimson Forest and rarely in the Soul Sand Valley and Warped Forest. Warped roots can be found in the Warped Forest. Nether sprouts are another plant only found in the Warped Forest. One of the 4 new biomes in the 1.16 update is the Crimson Forest. The Crimson Forest is filled with huge crimson fungus and has a red fog. Nylium, nether wart blocks, and netherrack cover the surface. The vegetation is crimson fungus, warped fungus, and crimson roots. The mobs that can appear in this biome are Piglins, Hoglins, Striders, and Zombified Piglins. Hoglins and Piglins are hostile towards each other and will attack each other. The second new biome in the 1.16 update is the Warped Forest biome. The sky is a dark royal blue, the biome is filled with huge warped fungus, and the floor is covered with the warped Nylium, warped warp blocks, and netherrack. The vegetation in the biome includes crimson fungus, warped fungus roots, nether sprouts, and twisting vines. Warped Forest is the rarest of the new biomes, as it only makes up 9% of the nether. The only mobs that appear in the biome are Striders and Endermen. The new stem block is a nether version of wood and has two variations, warped and crimson. It can be crafted into the same items as wood, like planks, and can be stripped to create high fae. Unlike wood, stem cannot be used as a fuel and isn't flammable. The warped warp block is part of the canopy of the huge warped fungus. It is a decorative block. Shroomlight can be found in the huge fungus as part of the canopy. It is a light source and has a light level of 15, the highest in the game. The third new biome is the Basalt Delta. The theme of the biome is volcanic. The air is filled with white ash particles and gray-purple fog. The Basalt Delta has rocky terrain composed of basalt and blackstone. The mobs that appear in this biome are magma cubes, ghasts, and striders. The blackstone is a new block. It is a nether version of stone. Blackstone can be crafted into stairs, slabs, furnaces, and stone tools. Blackstone can also repair stone tools. The last new biome is the Soul Sand Valley. Its surface is covered in soul sand, soul soil, and patches of gravel. The air of the biome has a cyan fog and gray air particles. The only vegetation that appears in the biome is crimson roots, the nether fossil, which is a grouping of bone blocks on the surface. Another structure appearing in the Soul Sand Valley is the Basalt Pillar, which is a 3x3 column of basalt going from the ceiling to the floor. Soul sand and soul soil in this biome can also be on fire, creating a soul fire. The soul fire is blue, has a light level of 10 compared to 15 for a fire, does 2 damage compared to 1, and repels the piglin mob. The soul fire also doesn't spread to other blocks and burns indefinitely. The mobs that can appear in this biome are ghasts, skeletons, endermen, and striders. The soul soil is a new block that doesn't slow down movement like soul sand. It can be used to spawn the wither. Soul soil can also be placed under lava. When blue ice touches the lava, it can be turned into a basalt block. This can be used to create bridges over lava. Nether fortresses can be found in the Nether Waste, Soul Sand Valleys, and Crimson Forest. The Bastion Remnant can be found in Crimson Forest, Warped Forest, Soul Sand Valleys, and the Nether Waste. The only enchantment added in the 1.16 update is the Soul Speed enchantment. It is a boot enchantment that increases the speed when walking on Soul Sand. The maximum level is 3. At level 3, it almost reaches normal walking speed on Soul Sand. The only way to get the enchantment is through bartering with piglins, killing piglins that have soul speed enchanted boots, or chest loot in the Bastion Remnant. There are 3 new variations of items with soul fire. They all can be crafted with soul sand or soul soil. All 3 have a light level of 10 and repel piglins. The 3 new items are soul torches, soul lanterns, and the soul campfire. A new redstone component added in the 1.16 update is the target block. The target block gives a redstone signal depending on how close to the center you hit it with a projectile like an arrow. It can also be part of a redstone circuit. It has a unique property of being an opaque block and not a mechanism component, but can still redirect redstone dust, allowing the target block to redirect redstone signal to powering adjacent blocks only when the target block is powered. There are 11 new advancements. These are Bullseye, which is hitting the target block 30 blocks away. Hidden in the Depths is getting Ancient Debris. Cover Me in Debris is getting full Netherite armor. Country Load Take Me Home, using a compass on a lodestone. Who is Cutting Onions, getting Crying Obsidian. Not Quite 9 lives. Fully charging a respawn anchor. This boat has legs, which is riding a strider with a warped fungus on a stick. Hot Tourist Destinations is exploring all the nether biomes. Those Were the Days, entering a Bastion Remnant. War Pigs, opening a chest in the Bastion Remnant. Oh Shiny, distracting an aggressive piglin with an item they love. One of the changes in the update is an increase to the items you can put into the composter. These are blocks like Crimson Fungus, Warp Fungus, Roots, Twisting Vines, Warp blocks, and Weeping Vines. Dispensers can now be used to equip saddles on pigs, striders, tamed horses, donkeys, and mules. Also, dispensers can put horse armor on tamed horses, carpets on tamed llamas, chests on tamed llamas, donkeys, and mules. A dispenser can shear mushrooms and snow golems. Farmers will now put excess seeds in the composter and will use bone meal from the composter on crops. Also, farmers now share excess wheat with other farmers so they can make bread. Also, there have been changes to villager workstations. Villagers no longer try to work at the same workstation. When a workstation is placed, the most experienced nearby villager with a corresponding profession gets that workstation. Villagers now have to walk to and reach the workstation to get the profession. Villagers will make sure their workstation is valid. Iron golems also can now spawn no matter the villager profession or the last time worked. Treasure catches from fishing can now only be caught in open seas. This means that AFK fish farms don't work anymore, as you have to have a bobber in an open sea area. You can't use waterlogged blocks for fishing, at least not to get treasure catches. Zero-tick farms have also been patched and no longer can be used. This was a bug that allowed block updates to occur to crops, making the crops grow a lot faster than normal. Other changes and fixes in the 1.16 update include increased visibility when using the potion of fire resistance when in lava. Walls will now connect to the bottom of glass panes, iron bars, and sea pickles. Walls will also turn into posts when pressure plates and banners are placed on them. Bone meal can now be used on kelp, twisting vines, and weeping vines. Compasses can be enchanted with the curse of vanishing. Food can now be placed on an unlit campfire. Hose can now be enchanted with efficiency, fortune, and silk touch. Hoes have also been given a bunch of blocks that is best to use on, like sponges, wet sponges, dried kelp blocks, nether wart blocks, targets, shroomlights, leaves, and hay bales. Mobs will now avoid walking on campfires. Besides wither skeletons, mobs won't spawn within wither roses. Spawning has been tweaked to more closely follow mob caps. Bees can't wander more than 22 blocks away from their home hive, and baby bees will continue to grow when in the hive. Endermen can no longer pick up netherrack or despawn when holding a block. Skeleton and zombie horses can now have a lead put on them. Shearing a snow golem will now drop a pumpkin. The old nether biome has been renamed to the nether waste. Shipwrecks and ocean ruins are less common. Now items can be put into the offhand from open inventory. Before, the item had to be in your hotbar. Now mending enchantments will now always go to an item that needs to be restored before the player levels. Before this, it was random which item was chosen. Redstone dust has now been changed to provide power to blocks it has a visual connection to, and doesn't to one it doesn't have a connection to. If you've gotten this far in the video, thank you for watching and enjoy the Nether update.